for you guys that have joined us live, welcome to the March session of the Daring to Learn value-added webinar series. We will have Travis Key again with TK Digital Marketing. He's going to be presenting on using short-form video to grow your business. If this is your first time joining us on Daring to Learn, I know we've got a lot of new folks that have registered recently. Welcome. My name is Elena Boyd. I am with the Center for Profitable Agriculture. CPA is a partnership between UT Extension and the Tennessee Farm Bureau. And this Daring to Learn series, we do this once a month. The topic changes, and this month we have Travis returning with us again. So I will go ahead and let him give kind of a brief introduction and then turn it over and he can get started.
All right. Good to have everybody here today. My name is Travis Key. I'm way down here in South Georgia. I apologize for my voice and the sniffling on this one. The pine pollen's pretty bad down here right now. Anyway, I have a company called TK Digital Marketing. I do website builds, online advertising campaign, YouTube consulting, video content consulting, basically anything in the digital marketing arena. I also have a business called Lazy Dog Farm. We do YouTube videos on gardening. We sell some fig trees on our website online, have a big fig orchard here, and some seeds, fertilizers, other things. So kind of entrenched in the agricultural world with our YouTube channel. And then we use that to kind of test things for our marketing business, which we then share with our other clients and stuff, things that we find that works. So if everybody's ready, we'll jump into the presentation here.
And you should be able to screen share.
There we go. Okay. Oh. Get it on the right slide to start with here. Here we go. Okay, so for today, we're going to be talking about short form video for your business. If you're not doing video, regardless of what your business model is, you should be. And so I'm going to give you some easy ways to talk about, we're going to talk about short form video, why it's important, give you some ideas for short form content, and then I'm going to kind of walk you through my process of how to determine where to be focusing your energy, where to be posting, how to get these, edited and shot really fast so you can get a lot of these out there on different platforms. So first, let's kind of differentiate between long form and short form video. These are two screenshots from my YouTube channel, Lazy Dog Farm. So we have the long form video, which is the widescreen format, and we have the short form video here, which is the vertical format. So the long form video, usually on YouTube, I try to have those at least 8 to 10 minutes long. Sometimes they might be 15, 20 minutes long. And then short form video are less than 1 minute traditionally. Some platforms will allow you to post longer than a minute, but we try to aim for less than a minute. So it's all about horizontal versus vertical. Today we're going to be focused on these short vertical videos and how to use them to kind of tell your story and get people to know more about your business. One more little thing about long form video, kind of differentiating the two. Long form video is going to allow you to tell a story a lot better. Really, tell the ins and outs of your business. If you've got products that need, tutorials or demonstrations, long form video is great for that, showing tutorials, showing people how to use your products. Long form video also really allows you to kind of build a relationship with your viewers or potential customers, earn their trust, and hopefully get them to purchase your product or your service or whatever you have. And if you do enough long form video, you also on YouTube have the opportunity to monetize that long form content, and you get more ad revenue from long form videos than you do from short form videos, just based on watch time. So, uh, the longer the video, the more ads YouTube can place on that ad, the more revenue you're going to get. Not every business is necessarily interested in ad revenue. They may be more interested in selling products or services, but just a way to differentiate between long form and short form. Long form is great, and I consult a lot of clients on long form video on YouTube. I think it's something that every business should try, but it's not for everyone. Long form video is going to require more gear. You can shoot long form video on a phone, but you really need to be using like a nicer camera rig for the long form video. Takes a lot longer to plan and shoot an 8 to 10 or minute or longer video. Have to kind of outline that out. I don't recommend ever scripting videos, but I do like to have kind of a general outline of what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to do in the video. So that takes a lot longer with these widescreen longer form videos. They also take a lot longer to edit. It may take me 45 minutes or so to edit an 8 to 10 minute YouTube video. And they take significantly longer to upload, especially if you're uploading in 4K and you live in a rural area like I do. It might take several hours to upload a long form video to YouTube. So there are some constraints there that make it maybe not ideal for every business out there that doesn't have the resources to put the effort it takes into the long form video. However, short form video, pretty much anybody can do because everybody's got a phone, right? So short form videos are easy to plan and produce. You're only talking for a minute or less. Doesn't have to be a whole minute. Most platforms give you at least a minute. I found some short form videos that I've done, they're really effective, are only 15 to 20 seconds long. So you don't have to go the whole minute. A lot of times you can get your point across in less than a minute. So they're easy to plan and produce. They're fast to upload. We can upload these short form videos in 4K to YouTube, Facebook, different places in usually just a couple minutes. And short form is great because it's going to significantly increase your organic reach on social media. So when we talk about organic reach, we're talking about non-paid reach, just what you're getting from people sharing, people seeing, people liking your post, and then the whatever it is, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, kind of broadcasting it out there. Here's a screenshot from one of my clients who kind of took a break from short form video and then just started it back up around January. And you can see the dramatic increase in reach they were getting by starting back doing short form video. 250 plus percentage increase in organic exposure. So Facebook and other social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram particularly, will show these videos to more people than they will just a single image post or a text post. So that Facebook wants these videos on their platform because they found that's what their user likes. And so if you're posting short form video as opposed to image posts, more people are going to see the short form video. More people are also likely to share the short form video. So it's a win-win. Now, as we go through and talk about this, you'll hear me use different terms for short form video, and that's because different platforms call it different things. So, on the Meta platform, which includes Facebook and Instagram, they call it Reels. On the YouTube platform, they call it Shorts. And then on TikTok, they just usually call them TikToks. So you might hear me use the term Reels, Shorts, or TikToks interchangeably, but we're talking about the same thing here. We're talking about that vertical video that's less than a minute long. So what do you need to get started? Well, everybody has a phone, hopefully. So that one's taken care of. But I do recommend having a couple other things. You don't need a ton of equipment like you do for long form video, but it does help to have a nice tripod, just a little mini tripod. I get a lot of my equipment from a place online called B&H Photo. They have a ton of stuff to choose from. So a little mini tripod works well. if you're sitting down or if you've got a surface to sit it on, that keeps it still and you can stand in front of it. It also helps if you're walking around kind of holding the camera in front of you, talking more kind of vlog style. The tripod allows you to get the phone or the camera on the phone further away from you a little bit, gives you a little bit of a wider shot. And keeps things a little more stable. Holding that tripod, you'll be a lot more stable than holding the phone. So having something to kind of stabilize the camera a little bit really helps. And then, your iPhone or Android phone, whatever you're using, does have a built-in mic on it, but they're not always great, especially if it's kind of windy outside. So, I recommend having an external mic that plugs into your phone. There's several of these out there. The one on the top right is one made by a company called Rode. That one just inserts right into your phone, and then you just have the mic pointed in whatever direction you're standing. Lately, I've been using this little lavalier mic, this Boya brand here, and it works really good. The receiver plugs into the phone, and then I clip the little lav mic on my shirt or my hat or whatever. Um, the price range for this kind of stuff is all over the board. For one of these little mobile lav mics, you can spend $50, which I think is what that Boya one costs. There's also ones out there that cost 200 or 300 bucks. In the beginning, though, get something simple until you kind of get the hang of it. You don't have to spend a fortune or invest a fortune to get started with short form video, but I would recommend mini tripod and then some kind of microphone that's going to pick up better sound than just your phone alone. All right, this is one of the biggest things when I talk to clients and other businesses. One of the biggest obstacles to doing video, besides them just being scared of being on camera, and I'll mention something there. Don't worry about people making fun of you. People are so worried about being on camera because they're worried what other people think. But the person that you think might criticize you, they're not brave enough to get on camera either. So the best thing to do is just jump out there, do it, and you'll get the hang of it. Your first video is always your worst video. So, one of another obstacle that a lot of clients and businesses tell me about, they don't know what to talk about. They don't know what they should put, on these reels. And so let me kind of go through some ideas. I do this with a lot of my clients. We just have, hour-long brainstorming sessions, and a lot of times we can quickly come up with 100 or more ideas for short form content that they can shoot throughout, their busy season or whatever. So the first thing that's really easy as far as getting ideas is using your social media comments. Hopefully you've already got an active Facebook, Instagram page, and you're getting some feedback on your post on there. Those comments or questions you get on your post are easy material for doing short form content. So here's a screenshot from a reel I did a while back about playing potatoes by the moon. So all I do is take a screenshot from my YouTube channel, a screenshot of the comment. You see it up there, that comment from Michael Mosley 254. Take that screenshot in my video editor, which I'll talk about in a minute. I throw it up on the screen there. So that reel, that piece of short form content is just about replying to that question or that comment. So you can, what I recommend businesses doing is whoever their social media person is, whoever replies to comments or looks at comments on their, Facebook, Instagram pages, tell that person, hey, if you see a good comment or a good question, take a screenshot of it, just throw them all in a folder on your laptop or your computer, and then you can go outside and shoot several reels at a time replying to these different comments. So that's easy material that you don't have to think about. You're answering questions, even if you get some negative comments. So use the short form content as an opportunity to reply to the negative comments as well. If you've got people kind of trolling your page, it's a great way to respond to them. A lot of times they'll stop. If you got people that comment silly stuff, get in front of it. Don't just delete the comment, reply to it with a piece of short form content. And what you'll find a lot of times is this really rallies your cheerleaders or the people who are huge fans of your business. So you might reply to a negative comment, And what you'll see happening is all the people that love you, love your business will comment on that reply to the negative comment and, tell everybody, tell that person how silly they are, whatever. It really bolsters support for your business. So don't be scared to confront any negative comments as well. Excuse me. Another thing, you can talk about our customer service questions. So I bet any business listening today could probably pull out a sheet of paper and write down, I don't know, 15 to 20 FAQs that they get all the time about their business services or products. And these are great material for short form content. So what I recommend businesses doing, meet with your customer support staff. If you're not already, meet with them, once a week or 2 times a month, and get them to tell you what kind of, questions they're getting on emails or, Facebook Messenger or phone, and write down all those questions. And then you make short form content to respond to those questions. And a lot of times for a particular question or FAQ, you can create multiple pieces of short form content just on one question. You can really elaborate on it. Um, what this will do for your business is not only give you great, content ideas, it will also reduce your email and call volume, hopefully, and improve profitability. You won't spend as much money paying customer support staff because you're getting out in front of these questions. You're putting them out there to a wider audience. And so they don't have to email you or call you because you've already answered that question on the reel. It also makes replying to emails faster, as opposed to writing out the answer to a question. Your staff could just send them a link to that reel or video footage and let the person watch that. So, you know, uh, we sell fig trees. We don't start shipping until April. Next few weeks we get a ton of questions. When are they going to be ready? When are they going to start shipping? So I always like to do a couple reels, just kind of letting everybody know the progress of getting the trees ready to ship and all that. Another thing you can talk about that people don't always think about because you're in your business every day, you may think certain parts of it are kind of boring, but other people really like to see behind the scenes of your operation. So this is one of my clients, Ken Oaks with the Oaks Daylilies, and last year, I encouraged them to just do some videos in their warehouse where they have racks of these daylily plants they just dug, they're getting ready to ship. Doesn't look very exciting, but we got a ton of engagement and a ton of eyes on these videos where he's just showing what it looks like. So, in your business, show how your products are made, show how they're packed, show how they're shipped, give tours of your warehouse, show your employees, show the people that work there, show, potential customers or viewers that you are a human, and just how your business operates and the extra steps you take to ensure you're getting a high quality product to your customers. So that's what Ken's doing here with these short form videos. He's showing people that they ship nice, fresh, big daylily plants, how many plants you get in each clump, the fact that some plants are naturally bigger than others, and that may be why you get different sizes of plants in the mail. It's a great opportunity. Short form video is a great opportunity to explain all those different things and explain the value you add with your products. Another thing to talk about is any kind of new products you're adding. If you're coming up with new products or have new variations of a product available, you should do a short form video on that every single time. So, here's a reel I did last year on a particular variety of figs we carry called GE Neri figs. And so these were out of stock for a little while. We propagated more trees, had them back in stock. We do a reel showing what the figs look like, telling people they're back in stock. We've even on Instagram, you can see the little button that pops up, view shop. People can buy them right there. And man, they sold out quickly again, which stinks that they were sold out again. But when you have something back in stock or a new product you've added, you do a piece of short form content on it, I can almost guarantee you're going to sell some of them. So it's a great way to announce. Most companies use email for that, but short form videos are also a great way to to put out new product or back in stock announcements. Also works really well for limited availability. So towards the end of the summer, early fall, we're trying to get rid of all our fig trees from this past year and start propagating new trees. So we'll do some reels on, limited availability, only got say 20 of these trees left, get them while you can, and it works like a charm for just selling out our existing inventory. That way we can start propagating some more trees. Another thing to talk about is weather related stuff. People love talking about the weather, especially if you've got an older customer base like Ken here does with his daylilies. Any kind of changes in the weather, any kind of severe weather, anything like that. If you can get out there and do some short form content on it, people love to see it, love to talk about how much snow they got, how much rain they got, how the wind blew down this. People love to comment and share their stories of what they experience in their region as well. So, we don't get snow down here in South Georgia, but if you get snow, bad weather, we get tropical storms and hurricanes down here where we are, not being far from the coast. So, I like to do short videos anytime we get a lot of wind damage or get a significant amount of rain, and we always get a lot of feedback on those videos. You can also talk about how the bad weather may be affecting your product. I think in this video, Ken was, addressing whether or not all that snow was going to hurt his daylilies or not. And then we also use it to give weather-related growing tips. So if it's really cold, unseasonably cold or unseasonably warm down here, we'll talk about how that affects certain things growing in our backyard garden. Another thing you can talk about are promotions. So if you're doing holiday promotions, things like that, or just seasonal promotions, you would ideally announce that on your email newsletter, but also use short form content to announce those things. And don't just do one piece of content for that promotion and then wonder why it didn't work. You need to do multiple reels or pieces of short form content per promotion. So let's say, for instance, you're doing I think here Ken was doing a free shipping promotion. So days leading up to that free shipping promotion, you would want to do a piece of short form content like, hey, want to let you guys know on this Friday, we're starting our free shipping. It only lasts a couple weeks. Make sure you take advantage of it. Can't wait to see what all you guys order. And then when it starts, you do a couple promotions during a couple reels during the promotion. Want to remind you our free shipping promotions going on now. Do several shit like Ken is there, show the boxes. We've had so many people taking advantage of this promotion, that kind of stuff. And then right before it ends, do another reel, like a last chance. Like, just want to remind you our free shipping period ends tomorrow. Take advantage of this while it lasts. So, a good 4 or 5 pieces of content per promotion, and you'll see it do wonders for your business. And one of the most important things to remember here is when you're doing these short form videos, be consistent with your format. I've got screenshots from several guys I see on Facebook and Instagram all the time. And all these guys have their own little catchphrases. They have a very consistent format. That may take you, if you've never done video before, it may take you a couple months to kind of get in your groove, develop a catchphrase if you want to do that and kind of get a consistent format. But people like regularity. People like knowing when they're scrolling through their feed and they see you or they see any of these guys, they know what to expect and they watch them because they can't, they want to see them say their catchphrase again. So this guy up here at the top left, this kid, he works on cars and he looks too small to know a lot about cars, but just is a genius as far as mechanic and stuff. And so his dad always asks him what he's doing, and then this kid just tells you all about what he's doing working on this car. The one in the middle there, this guy, him and his son have a page, and his son would just walk up to him and say, can you make me this? He'll name some kind of cocktail, and his dad will bring out all this fancy equipment and make it. Most people have heard of Stale Cracker over in Louisiana. He's always cooking jambalaya or gumbo or something. And there's several other Louisiana chefs down here below. This one in the bottom middle, this guy Ralph the Baker, he starts all his videos out with a stick of butter. So he throws a whole stick of butter on the pan and starts cooking. But people watch Ralph because they just waiting to see him throw that stick of butter down. So being consistent, having a catchphrase or something like that definitely helps. Don't try too hard with it. It will come over time, but try to be consistent with your format. Also have a short, pun intended, memory. Remember that these shorts that you post have a pretty short shelf life. So they're only going to stay active in the news feed for a couple days, maybe at most. Now, if they get a lot of shares and go viral, they'll stick around for a lot longer. But most of them, they're going to get seen by everybody that's going to see them in a few days. So no one's going to remember what you posted a couple weeks ago, definitely not a month ago. So don't get too hung up on, well, I did a reel on that 2 weeks ago. Do a reel on it again. Nobody's going to remember or say, hey, you just talked about that 2 weeks ago. If you've got a topic that works really, really well, keep hammering on it. Here's a screenshot from my Instagram page. You can see the different amount of views we have here on these. And so like the chicken tractor, I'm moving up there in the top left, that always gets a lot of views. Excuse me. A lot of views and a lot of engagement. So anytime I can, I do a short video moving our chicken tractor. It's the same thing over and over again, just moving it to a different spot, but people love to see it. So if you've got, onions is another one. Anytime we're talking about onions, people love that. So we do as many onion videos as possible. You'll find as you put these out, certain topics hit better than other topics. And for those topics that really hit, hammer them out. Do as many videos or short form pieces of content as you can on those topics. All right, now let's talk about kind of distribution, editing, some of that. So all your big platforms out there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, they all have what we call these in-app editors. So you can shoot a short video on your phone, a short vertical video, and then when you can post it through their apps, and they all have these neat little in-app editors now. And these are great if you've never done any photo editing. You can do all kind of cool stuff, filters, funny faces, put a mustache on somebody. I'm sure you've seen all this before. It's neat what you can do with these. The problem is each of them are different. So the Facebook in-app editor is different than the YouTube in-app editor, which is different from the TikTok in-app editor. And although you can create some really neat effects with these in-app editors, they're time consuming. You go shoot a piece of short form content, sit down playing around with these in-app editors. Next thing you know, you will have spent an hour just to, finalize and post a 40-second video, which is not very efficient. We want volume here. We want to be putting out as much content as possible. If we're spending an hour on a 40-second video, it's going to be hard to stay on a consistent schedule. So unless you've got a team of people helping you, it's hard to use these in-app editors for every single social media platform out there, because if you do it in Instagram and then it downloads to your phone, it's got the little Instagram badge on it. TikTok doesn't really like that. YouTube doesn't really like that. So cross posting after using one of the in-app editors doesn't usually work that well. So I'm not a huge fan of these in-app editors. They are neat. And if you are only posting to one platform, if you're only doing Instagram or only doing YouTube, yeah, maybe. But I'm going to give you an alternative to what I do with my clients that seems to work a lot better and really allow you to get more content out there. So instead of using the in-app editors and editing it, 3 different times on the TikTok app, the YouTube app, or say the Meta app, my solution is to edit once and then distribute to the platforms. Now, I realize some of you may have some video editing experience. Others of you may have never done it before. There are a lot of options out there as far as editing software goes. Some of them are easier to use than others. I haven't used all of these, but I know people that have. I personally use Final Cut Pro. I'm a Mac guy. got every computer or phone or watch I own is Apple, and they all talk to one another. So I use Final Cut Pro. I have for years, really like it. There's also some easier to use ones out there. Adobe Premiere, in my opinion, is probably the hardest one to use. I've tried it, not a big fan of it, but just know there are a lot of options out there as far as being able to edit some of this short form content. Before you get into this, a few things to know are size ratios. So this is a screenshot here from Final Cut Pro, where when I'm creating a new project or a new video, and it's important to know these size dimensions to know what kind of video you're editing. So a wide video in 4K is going to have those dimensions there, 3840 times 2160. And then a vertical video is just basically that flip. So our short form vertical video that we're talking about creating today in 4K has those dimensions there. That's important when you're creating like overlay images for the short form content. I would always recommend shooting in 4K if your internet speed can handle it. It does take significantly longer to upload 4K videos than it does 1080p videos. So if your internet is horrible, you may not can do 4K, but most phones nowadays shoot 4K. Most cameras shoot 4K. So try to do 4K if you can. Never 780p. The resolution is just too low. 1080 is okay, but try to do 4K. So, you're using the idea here is to shoot that piece of content on your phone, put it in one of these editors, maybe, pull that screenshot from the comment section on top of the video, like I showed you earlier, or pull a little graphic over the video. Edit it one time in one of those editing softwares I showed you earlier, and then you've got to distribute to all these places. That's so much faster and more efficient than using those individual in-app editors. So once you've got your piece of short form content that you've edited, which usually takes only a minute or two, where do you post it? And so, we can post, like we mentioned earlier, we can post reels to Facebook or Instagram within the Meta platform. We can post shorts to YouTube, or we can post on TikTok. So in the past, just a couple years ago, YouTube was all about long form content. And then all these other social media platforms started focusing on short form. So YouTube came out with the shorts, and you can now have a YouTube channel and it just be shorts. You don't have to be posting long form content to be on YouTube. So that's one thing I tell my clients all the time. Like, maybe you're not ready for long form video, but go ahead and create a YouTube channel, start putting these short form videos on there, since you've already got them and you've already distributing them to other places. So we're going to look at some demographics and stuff between these different platforms. I always recommend, if you're starting out, post to all of them in the beginning. Now, I no longer post to TikTok. I did for a while. I just post my short form videos to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube currently. But I recommend everybody trying them all, and then you may see that one of the or two of the platforms doesn't really fit, your customer demographic. But start with them all, and then you can kind of scale it back. So let's look at some platform demographics here real quick. We've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Some of this data might not be that surprising. Facebook tends to skew a little older. Facebook and YouTube do tend to skew a little older. TikTok, as you might imagine, is a much younger demographic. You can see the majority of TikTok users are 18 to 24. Instagram tends to skew, kind of be in the middle of Facebook and TikTok. So Instagram is a lot of millennials, which is what I am. I'm 38, so I fall right into the millennial category. Facebook over the years has shifted to older demographic, and then YouTube. YouTube is probably the most balanced one of them all. You've got young people on YouTube and also older people on YouTube. We see that with our YouTube channel demographics specifically. We've got people from 35 years old to 65 years old watching our gardening videos on YouTube. So why is this information important? Well, this tells you, okay, you should hopefully already know what your customer base looks like. So this tells you where you can find your customer base. One of the reasons I quit posting on TikTok is because a lot of the comments and feedback I was getting on there was just the silliest kind of questions. And the other thing is, most TikTok users are really young. And what do young people have in common? Most of them are broke. So if you're trying to sell people something, you know, showing videos to a bunch of young people who don't have a lot of money is probably not the greatest idea. You want to sell to people who are a little older, a little more financially stable. And so that's why YouTube and Facebook, uh, excuse me, and Instagram tend to work a lot better for us. So, you know, if you already know your customer demographic, you start posting all these places, you should see this data kind of fall into place and you, depending on what your customer demographic is, you'll perform better on some of these than others. So we want to shoot in bulk and we want to upload in bulk. So one thing I don't recommend doing is being like, okay, well, it's Tuesday at 1 o'clock here, Eastern time. I haven't posted anything today. Let me go outside and shoot a reel real quick, and then I'll come back inside and post it. And then tomorrow something comes up and you don't get one posted, and then maybe you get one the next day. It's really hard to stay consistent on it with it if you're doing it on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I recommend shooting in bulk. Have a list of ideas on a piece of paper. Go outside. If you're shooting these by yourself, maybe you've got an assistant that's going to hold the camera for you. Go outside and shoot 5, 6, or 7 of these at the time using that list of ideas I gave you earlier, and then edit them all at one time and then upload them all at one time. That way you've got all your short form content posted for the next week, 2 weeks, how much ever you shoot. You don't have to stop in the middle of your busy day every day and think about, oh, what am I going to talk about today? Because a lot of times things will come up, things will happen, you'll have fires to put out, all that kind of stuff. That's why I support it just once a week, once every 2 weeks, set aside an hour or two, go shoot the short form content, edit it or have somebody edit it and get it uploaded. That way you don't have to worry about it on a day-to-day basis. So in the Meta Business Suite, which is where this screenshot here came from, you can now upload a reel. You see there, I have selected my Lazy Dog Farm Facebook and Instagram page. I'd click that add video button, give it the file, add the caption there, and then I would schedule it to, for tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. And I schedule these usually about a week out. That way, like I said, I don't have to think about doing this on a day-to-day basis. One thing about the meta upload here, you do have to upload each one individually. You can't upload these in bulk, but you on YouTube Studio, like I said earlier, everybody should have there's no excuse for any business not to have a YouTube channel now. Even if you're not doing long form video, use your channel to host all your short form content as well. So on YouTube, you can actually upload these in bulk. So you're in YouTube Studio, which is kind of your back end of your YouTube channel. You hit that create button there. You can select in your files. I've done as many as 8 at a time, 8 videos. I'll give it those 8 videos. I'll go outside, do something else, work on something else, give it 30, 45 minutes or so, and they're all uploaded. And I just schedule them, put a title on them, tell YouTube when to post them. It's a really fast way to get all this done at once, as opposed to trying to do it every single day. There are also some apps out there that can help you with social media posting. I've used a couple of these. So these are apps that allow you to get all your comments and questions, social media engagement coming into one place. So I use one called Hootsuite. So I have several different clients that I manage their social media profiles for them. And for my Lazy Dog Farm stuff, instead of bouncing back and forth between YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, all the comments come into one place and you can answer them all there. You can also post stuff within there. You can upload the video once and it will shoot it out to the different social media platforms. These vary in cost. Some of them may be upwards of $100 a month, but if you're doing a lot of content, they'll pay for themselves pretty quickly. I've used Agora Pulse in the past. I like it. Like I said, I use Hootsuite now. And then I know other people who use Sprout Social and speak highly of it. So if you're doing a lot of social media stuff, you really should be taking advantage of some of these apps out there that can help you streamline things and make your process more efficient. Also, uh, and this is specifically for people who are selling stuff online. So if you got a website and you're selling products online, you need to be tagging your products in these videos. So YouTube currently has an integration with Shopify, which is one of the reasons I recommend Shopify as a for e-commerce websites. So you can hook your YouTube channel up to your Shopify site, and your products are available to tag in your video. So like this video here, somebody asked about using Milorganite as a fertilizer, and I said, well, not for me, but here's the stuff I use, and I'm able to tag these products that are on my website in that video. And every single time we tag products in a short form video, we always get sales from it. It works really, really well. Now, if you've got WooCommerce or Wix or something like that as your website platform, WordPress, they don't have an integration. It's just for Shopify sites. But if you're going to do a lot of video and you're selling stuff online, it's a good reason to have a Shopify site. So that's what it looks like when we tag them on YouTube. And then over here to the right, this is the screenshot I showed you earlier. Whether you can do the Facebook and Instagram shop with lots of different web platforms, whether it's WordPress, Shopify, Wix, whatever. You put that pixel or piece of code on your website. Your products are imported into Facebook or Instagram into your shop, and then when you post a piece of content, you can tag those products so people can easily find them. A lot of times they give you the option, people can buy directly off Facebook, or you can have it send them to your website, which is what I do. So this lets people know, hey, this product I'm talking about here, we sell this. You can go to our website and buy it. This works really, really well. If you're selling stuff online, this is even more reason to be doing short form video. As I mentioned earlier, the whole point of shooting in bulk and uploading in bulk, editing in bulk as well is because it helps you be consistent. Doing video content only works if you are committed to being consistent with it. If you do one video today and then do one next Thursday, and then just whenever you can get around to it, you're never going to be that successful with it. It's all about consistently putting out that content. People get used to seeing that content and they start responding to whatever services or products you're trying to provide. So consistency is key. Here's a good example. This is a screenshot from our YouTube channel. So I took a break from short form content back late last year, in early December. And you can see that there where our views per day went down. And then at the beginning of the year, I said, okay, I'm gonna get back on it. I had about a 2-week break or whatever. And as soon as I started posting more short form videos, it completely amplified, excuse me, our entire channel. It amplifies the long form videos. It just gives us significantly more reach. So you can see there the benefit of doing, excuse me, doing that regular consistent short form content is just going to amplify everything. But you got to be consistent with it. Can't just be doing it one here and there. You need to have a consistent schedule that you're sticking with. And that's why bulk shooting, bulk editing, bulk uploading is better. Here's that screenshot from Oak's Facebook page earlier, just kind of blown up. Again, you can see the huge increase when they started back doing short form content and started being consistent with it. I don't know anybody out there who wouldn't want a 250% increase in their organic reach. That's going to give you more followers. It's going to give you more sales. It's going to give you more website videos. It's win-win-win across the board. So the big thing is to pick a schedule and stick to it. So with my Lazy Dog Farm channel, I try to post, we do 3 long videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, but I try to post a short every day except Sunday. So I'm doing 6 a week. Some weeks I maybe only do 5, but my goal is to do 6 a week. I don't usually don't do one on Sunday. But your schedule, you may not be able to do 6 a week. You may only be able to do 2 or 3 a week. I would not recommend just doing one a week, but let's say you can only do 3 a week. That's all the time you have. Do 3 a week, do it religiously, do them on the same day every week, do them at the same time every week. All my shorts usually post at 10 a.m. in the morning. Uh, and it's every day at 10 a.m. in the morning. So people expect to see that content then. So if you really want to be an overachiever, post a short video every day at the same time every day, and I guarantee you will see huge results pretty fast. But a lot of companies can't commit to having a new piece of short form video coming out every single day. So go for 3 to 4 times a week if you can't. You'll still see good results from that, just maybe not as fast as doing one every single day. And like I said earlier, I wouldn't recommend just doing one a week. It's going to be so slow. And what happens a lot of times if a company's just doing one a week, they don't see the results that they think they should be seeing and they quit doing it. When in actuality, it wasn't because it doesn't work. It was because they wasn't putting enough effort into it. So commit to at least 3 to 4 short form videos a week. Pick those days. Maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know, schedule them out at the same time every day, and I promise you'll see big results. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I think we have a little time here for questions. Is that right, Elena? Nod your
Yes,
head.
yeah.
So we'll do some questions to the chat feature here, but if you've got a longer question, you can email me if you want, YouTube or short form video consulting. I do that as well. So reach out to me and I'll be glad to point you in the right direction. But we'll take some videos on the chat feature here. Is it the chat or the Q&A?
You guys should be able to do both. You can raise your hand. Say if you've got a question that's maybe too long to try and type out, I can turn your mic on. That way you can ask it also.
Okay. So I'll hang around for another 10 minutes or so if anybody's got any questions.
Looks like we've got one.
Okay.
So
Kath. Well, what about music? So this goes back to the whole um, in-app editor thing. So in those in-app editors, you can add music, which is neat. And so on Instagram, I used to do a lot of those where I would just film myself. I just set up the camera, film myself doing something in the garden. I would go in that Instagram in-app editor. I would edit it out. I would add some music to it. And those did awesome on Instagram. But at some point, they just became so time consuming. I started doing short videos where I'm talking in front of the camera. Uh, and those tend to do better on YouTube. So I've kind of sacrificed a little bit with my Instagram following, but I've made my process more efficient. So yeah, adding music is great. A lot of times you have to do that through the in-app editors, which goes back to the process of kind of slowing everything down because you have to do it for each individual platform. You may not be able to have the same piece of music for your short form content on Instagram as you have on YouTube, as you have on TikTok or whatever. So try to streamline the process.
and Catherine had her hand raised. I'm going to go ahead and let her
Okay. All right.
answer.
Got Emily here. Let me do that one.
Okay.
Um, so how do you tell if an Instagram following translates into actual customers and not just people interested in your content? Well, you got to think about online conversion rate. So like for instance, a good conversion rate for a website is, let's just say, 3 to 4%. That means for every 3 to 400, for every 100 people that visit my website, 3 or 4 of them actually make a sale. Now, if you backtrack that to people who've watched your content, that percentage is going to be even lower. But if you're, with your Google Analytics, you should be able to tell where people are coming from, where those sales are coming from. But if you're curious about one working versus the other, you could always just post that piece of content on Instagram and say how many sales you get, wait a couple days, post it on YouTube. You can do some testing there, but Google Analytics should give you that information to tell you where your sales are coming from. Catherine says, what about stringing together still shots into a reel on Instagram? So, yeah, those work. Those are easy to do. I don't think they're as good as video because I think it's important you're developing a personality here. You're developing a brand, a story for your business. I really think it's important to be talking on camera to really tell the story of your business, tell about your products. Yeah, you can do those steals. It's not going to hurt to have a few in there, but get your face in front of the camera is always what I recommend. That's going to relate to people a lot better than just some images flowing through.
And we've got time for maybe one or two more, if anybody has any.
Here we go. Oh, thanks. You're welcome.
And I will go ahead and remind you guys just while we're waiting, for those of you who have been on our Daring to Learn sessions before, kind of the drill with our evaluation at the end of each session. If this is your first time, I'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen. And Travis, if you want to answer that next question.
Okay, recommendations to up subscription purposes for a CSA. So we actually used to do we didn't call it a CSA, we called it a weekly veggie bag. We stopped doing it a couple years ago, but we did it for several years here. One way to do that is to create short form content talking about what you've got in your bag every week or what you've got coming. That really worked for us when we were doing the weekly veggie bags. We would put 5 different items from the garden in each bag every week. And my wife would do a video talking about what's in the bag this week. And so if for instance, broccoli was ready, and we hadn't had broccoli in the bag in a while, we would do short form content on things we knew people would be excited that were back in the bag or the CSA again. So you could do that. You could also talk about your farming practices, why your food is grown responsibly. There's tons of different ideas you could do out there to get more people buying your CSA.
Awesome. And we could probably take one more if anybody's got one. And I did put that link to the evaluation survey in the chat box, but I'll pop that QR code up on the screen as well. And I did have someone let me know during our webinar last month that the QR code was incorrect for the February slide, so I changed that. So this QR code that you scan here today will take you to the 2024 evaluation, and the link in the chat as well will take you to that evaluation survey. So if you are trying to get TAEP credit for any of our Tennessee-based producers, be sure to fill that out. And otherwise, if you guys don't have any more questions for Travis, I can go ahead and stop recording, and I will send out a follow-up email with the link once this gets up on YouTube, and we should be good. Thank you, Travis, for sharing with us today, and thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank y'all.